It's preseason football. Fantasy drafts are firing up. We're getting all types of news and performances from some of these players who are RB3s back in the depth chart that are making us scratch our heads. We saw one from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. It caught fire, plus some more news on top of that we're going to cover. Sean Tucker is exploding on the news right now in the fantasy football scene. We're going to talk about whether or not you need him for fantasy football, the good, bad, the ugly. But before we dig in with this deep dive, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing deep dives every day. We're covering your players. We're doing rankings. We're covering your draft strategies to help you figure out what to do with your drafts. We're helping you with the waiver wire, find those gems, and we're going to help you set those lineups. All right here on this channel, click that button. It's all here for free. But another thing that came up, Rachaad White has a groin injury, and we'll get further testing. So we're going to see what's up with Rachaad White. We're going to see how long he's going to be out. We're going to be monitoring his status, but that's affecting things right now. When it comes to ADP and what people are looking at here, and Sean Tucker went off. He had a good run here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 50 yards on 13 carries. Made some guys miss. Looked smooth. A lot of people excited about Sean Tucker and what he did on the field here recently. And there's more to be excited about, and we're going to cover that later. But not much opportunity so far this season, as you see Bucky Irving just killing it for the Bucs last year. And then prior to that, Sean Tucker having a slow start to his career. But Bucky Irving's the man. He's a stud. 14.5 points per game, multiple RB1 weeks. Ever since week 6 of the season, he took over. He was road dogging defenses only 2 games since then with RB3 production. Outside of that, double-digit score every single week. Most games he's in double digits. Looks like 5 games he was outside of double digits. You got a little rookie ramp up there. But again, he's rock solid. The offense might be a little bit different this year, but Bucky Irving is the man. And you look at what he did in Syracuse. Sean Tucker, one of the best running backs in college football. Elusive. Was going to be a mid-round pick, if not higher. Maybe even a second rounder. Was one of the top running backs in all college football. You look at what he was doing in the passing game, ran more routes in 2022 than the previous years. 8.2 yards after the catch per reception. 8.2 yards after the catch per reception. 10.7 on his career. Yards after contact per attempt. 3.51 on his career. And we're seeing him make guys miss at the NFL level. Even though it's a small sample, he had that game where he went off last year. He showed some promise last week, and it was a slow start to his career, but he was going off with a bang in college. He was dominating games. He was blowing up everybody he was playing against, from Notre Dame to Florida State to Louisville to Ohio, Boston College, Clemson, whoever it was. He was knocking them down, but he didn't get drafted. He didn't get drafted, and this story is affecting him still today because he developed a heart condition. Found that out during the combine. That affected his ability to work out. Teams did not know much about him and the condition. They're worried about that. He slipped through the cracks of the draft and didn't get drafted. Landed with the Bucs, and he's been fighting his way up the depth chart ever since. Even though he showed some flashes of greatness, and his rookie season wasn't really there, but you got to remember his rookie year, he wasn't cleared to late July, late in the training camp. Training camp's in a full swing. So we get to our second season. They got Rachaad White. Rachaad White has been looking good. And now they got Bucky Irving. But when attrition hits, we do big things. 34.2 PPR fantasy points last year in one game. But we're struggling to get touches. We're struggling to get workload. So why does that matter here in 2025? Right now, Rachaad White's dealing with an injury. We got to pay attention to that. Sean Tucker's still making waves on the film. We're seeing him make big plays. We're looking at Rachaad White here. He's productive. He gets it done. He's an okay running back. He's not efficient, but he's good in the passing game. He has a good skill set to help out any backfield in the National Football League. But he's banged up right now. And you're looking at this backfield. You're looking at the rushing attempts. Bucky Irving is going to lead this backfield in rushing attempts. He did last year. He's going to do it again this year. We're not worried about Bucky Irving. We're trying to strategize around Bucky Irving, Rachaad White, Sean Tucker, and try to figure out if we need these guys, what's the right price, what to do, everything else in between. But Bucky Irving killed it last year during his rookie season, and he's being drafted in the second round of drafts right now in Underdog Fantasy. And you're looking at him, he's a stud prospect. The draft capital is up there, so if you're paying up for a running back, a lot of you guys want to get that handcuff. So who are you going to get, Rachaad White, or are you going to get Sean Tucker? Rachaad White's currently banged up, but he has been productive over the years. Sean Tucker, we see flashes, but the steak's never cooking. Rachaad White is getting drafted in the 13th round on Underdog Fantasy. He's been a great value considering his role in the passing game. But again, if things change, that could be a huge deal for his prospect profile. And you're looking at all the other running backs in his range. You got some good upside plays, like a Braylon Allen's been heating up. Jaden Blue, he's on the mend right now from an injury that's not substantial, but still has been showing things in camp. Javonte Williams could be the guy in Dallas. Dylan Sampson could be the guy in Cleveland. Basil Tootin's got speed. Trey Benson's got speed, and if something happens to Connor, that's a prime handcuff. You're looking at some other guys. There's a lot of RB2s on their team that could get more workload than advertised later. And now you're looking at the ADP splits here. Bucky Irving has a tremendous lead over the backup running backs, which is to be expected. So you could get Bucky Irving and one of the running backs very cheap. Sean Tucker's not getting drafted. Nobody's drafting Sean Tucker as of right now. However, you look at the end of this draft, it reflects this weekend. You see a downward trend for Rachaad White, an upward trend for Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker's gaining steam due to the preseason game, due to some other news, some clips from Matthew Berry that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, that's causing ripples in the fantasy football space. So ADP-wise, you're looking at these running backs and you're thinking, well, how could I strategize around this? If you're going Bucky Irving, you're thinking, which running back should I get as my cuff? Or do you even get a cuff? We'll talk about that later. But you're looking at Rachaad White here. Rachaad White, he's cheap, but there's running backs around him. There's opportunity cost. And he's also banged up. So you're looking to try to get him at a discount, a little bit cheaper than where he's at. But Sean Tucker's coming up. You're seeing him look good in preseason. He's still a lot cheaper. So you can get one of those running backs in that range and still get a Sean Tucker. And if Bucky Irving goes down, Sean Tucker's going to get more work nonetheless. He's going to get opportunity. And you did not spend or burn any capital in those money rounds of the dart throws. Now we got to look at it like that this year, because this year's draft is very deep at the running back position. But you're looking at Sean Tucker. He's on the come up. People are looking at drafting him right now. I'm not making that up. The proof's right there. But the thing that's happening right now is it sounds like, per Matthew Berry, that they like Sean Tucker a lot. And Matthew Berry states right here, it sounds like they're not enthusiastic about Rachaad White, and Tucker might overtake him this year. That's hearsay. That's a guess from Matthew Berry. But that was put on wax. Sean Tucker's a guy to pay attention to. But you look at the ADP splits, you look at the price, and the fact that White's banged up, that is something to pay attention to when you're looking at strategies around here. And Rachaad White's not efficient with the football in his hands. That's the thing. He gets you mid-efficiency at best. That being said, I could see coaches not liking him. I can see coaches being sick of that. While Sean Tucker is very efficient, very explosive, they talk him up and they're saying good things about him. He's an explosive runner. You give him space, he's going to eat it. He's got good vision. He pairs well with Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving's good in the passing game. You really don't need Rachaad White because you can split Bucky Irving out. We saw that at Oregon. We saw it last year. And use Sean Tucker up the gut a lot as that RB2, that 1B running back. When you use two running backs at the same time, that's something to pay attention to. That's something to watch. Things are starting to permeate here in Tampa Bay. We don't officially know, but we're trying to look at the tea leaves here, see what happens. But why you need a Bucky cuff? Rachaad White's a little bit more expensive. He's been proven over time. However, there's rumblings with Sean Tucker. He's a little bit cheaper. He's almost free. People are going to forget about him in the next few days. That's the thing. There's going to be another flavor of the week. They're going to latch onto that. Sean Tucker will flatline out a little bit, and then you'll get him cheap in drafts. He ain't going to continuously go up. Do you absolutely need him? No. No. Because there's so many handcuffs, and you can only have so many. And there's so many that you just pick your poison, honestly. You're waiting for attrition. You're waiting for something to happen. However, him versus Rachaad White's the question. Right now, Rachaad White's dealing with a groin. You tell me what you want to do if he's still dealing with that in the start of the season. And we're seeing signs pointing to them liking Sean Tucker. And if he gets some 1B role, then he's going to get some opportunities to score you in fantasy production. And we know Sean Tucker, more than likely, we got some changes with his team, coaching staff, and everything else that could impact that. But Sean Tucker, if something happens to Bucky Irving, is going to get more work and more opportunity. And when he gets his opportunity, he cashes. That being said, with him being so cheap, you need to pay attention to him, especially if he's on the waiver wire. You don't even have to draft him. You might be picking him up off the waiver wire here in a few weeks. That's why this video is important. Opportunity cost of cuffs, though. There's other handcuff running backs. There's so many. Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, he's got a lot of upside. There's so many. I can rattle them off left and right. We do this every day. That is the big issue, though. You just got to pick your poison, pick who you want. I think you're diversifying with these handcuffs. If you're in one league, pick the one you want. If your running back is one of the top running backs like Bucky or higher, then you're probably looking at one of the cuffs and you're strategizing around it. But we got to put a light on this because Sean Tucker is making waves right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.